as we roll into tax season, it's common to start thinking, do I have any mistakes in my QuickBooks? Have you been feeling that way? It's common to wonder, am I ready for my tax appointment? Have I checked everything? And you've been asking me, Candus, can you help me fix mistakes? So I want to go through and share a couple things with you. The first is there are areas to check before your tax appointment, so I want to teach you what to do with those. And then if you want to get into more detail, learn the step-by-step process, it's super simple. I'm actually going to be hosting a free class all about how to identify mistakes and then share some strategies with you on how to fix them. So let's jump into QuickBooks together. I thought this would be fun to look around. So a lot of you say to me, hey, what do I check, right? And the first place that you want to check, there's a few, but one of them is you always want to go into your customers. So depending on which version of QuickBooks Online you're using or desktop, you want to go in and you want to look at your customers. If you're a nonprofit, it could be donors. And one of the things I'll be teaching on the class is what to be looking for. Things like over here. So for example, let's back up a step. When you're working on your QuickBooks, if you're creating invoices, that's a feature in QuickBooks. It's so that your customers will pay you later. Yes? And so when you come in here and you're creating invoices, what that does in QuickBooks is it comes in and it says, this customer owes me this much money later. One of the common mistakes that I see QuickBooks users making and don't even know it. That's the thing about mistakes sometimes in QuickBooks is you don't know what to be checking. And so you don't even know if you have them. I actually recently read a study that said 6 out of 10 bookkeepers, business owners, whoever that is, make mistakes. And Intuit recently shared an article. They're the creators of QuickBooks, and they said a lot of business owners have $5,000 to $10,000 worth of mistakes, and they don't even know it. And so I'm like, oh, we don't want to be there, right? Because guess what? Everything you're entering into QuickBooks, whether you're creating an invoice, you're entering an expense, impacts 2 reports. Do you know what reports those are? Reports are over here in QuickBooks. Your profit and loss and your balance sheet. Because a lot of times you might be thinking like, this doesn't matter, right? Like it doesn't matter if I have errors in my customer center, my vendors, my bank, my credit card, like it doesn't matter. But what you may not know is those mistakes actually report on these 2 reports, either your profit and loss, income and expense, or your balance sheet, assets, liability, equity. And if you have those mistakes, when you go to file your taxes, you could be overpaying, right? I've seen people have literally thousands and thousands of dollars in undeposited funds, which is a duplication of income, meaning you've doubled what you say you earned. And so by having these mistakes, when you go to make your tax appointment and they go to file your taxes, if they're not fixed or cleaned up or nobody even identified them, then you're overpaying. So then what people start saying is, okay, great. Now that I know I have mistakes, I'm just going to go in and delete them. So that's one of the things I'm going to teach you in the class is that you do not want to delete them. Why? Any guesses? Because I saw a little comment. It's like, hi, everybody. And I was like, oh, hi, little comment. You guys are saying hi to me. And then I got distracted for a quick second. So when you make these mistakes, they impact your profit and loss. And then you might be thinking, I'm just going to go in and delete them. And if you delete them, guess what happens? It changes your prior profit and loss. So if you go in and you start identifying mistakes, let's say you know you have them and you go, I'm just going to delete them out of my bank account, or I'm going to delete them out of my deposit funds. And they're from 5 years ago, they're from 2 years ago. What that does is it actually changes your profit and loss. Okay? Changes your profit and loss. So if you ever go to the IRS and you say, or they come to you and they go, prove what you've put on your reports, and you go, well, it's right here. And they go, well, this doesn't match your tax return. You open up another can of worms. And so one of the things I teach is that you want to go in and you want to start cleaning up your mistakes in the current year you have not filed taxes. So if right now you haven't filed taxes, it is the ideal time, one, to fix mistakes from last year, but also to clean up any old mistakes from prior years as well. Hello, it's good to see you guys. I love doing live classes because I get to hang out with you. With that being said, the areas you want to be checking, I'm going to go through this step by step in the class I'm getting ready to host. We're going to check the customers, because there's one way to check them is inside the actual center over here. If you happen to be watching this on Instagram, I know that the screens aren't good, but make sure to join us on the class because it only shows a portion of what I'm teaching. But you also want to be checking your vendors, which are the people and places you spend money. You want to be checking your bank accounts, you want to be checking your credit cards, and then there's some tips on loans as well that I will be teaching in the class. Okay? So the biggest thing I want you to take away from all of this is if when you go to file your taxes, you're not checking these areas, there's no way to guarantee you don't have mistakes. And that's costing you and overpaying. You could be leaving expenses that you need to be adding, or you could be overstating your income. So if you're going, oh my gosh, when is this class? I'm hosting it next week for you, with you in mind. You can go to CandusCampfer.com/cleanup. If you are on Instagram or Facebook, you can always leave clean25 and we'll send you, or you could just DM me and I'll send you the details. But make sure you come to this class, even if you've already filed your taxes, because you're going to see, did I have stuff I should have fixed, or do I need to get it fixed before I do my taxes next year? Because a lot of times you might just think these are a nuisance, like, it doesn't matter about my customers. But remember, it impacts 2 reports, profit and loss and balance sheet. These are also the reports you use, not just to file taxes, but also to make decisions all year long. So if you've been saying, like, I just thought I had no idea how to clean these up, or I have to be a tax professional, you don't. But the first step we're going to take on the class is making sure where are the mistakes so that you can get them fixed up. My tax lady fussed at me for changing something I had changed in the past. Yeah. So there's a little share, right? So you don't want to go back and just remove them. You want to go back and you want to fix them correctly with IRS guidelines and generally accepted accounting principles. And you don't. Just a little tip. Don't tell anybody I said this. No, I'm just kidding. It's totally true. So often you think that you have to be a CPA or a tax professional to get this stuff fixed. I literally teach thousands of people how to fix their QuickBooks mistakes. 1, how to learn it properly so you don't have mistakes. But then 2, how to clean them up. You don't have to be an expert to do this, but you have to have proper strategy so you don't make any mistakes. I need to take your full crash course. So that is our Confidence with QuickBooks program, is where we teach you how to use QuickBooks properly. Feel free to reach out to us for that. And then QuickBooks Simplified is where I focus more on cleaning up mistakes. But the first piece, we need to know where your mistakes are at. So make sure to join me on my class. And for those of you, if you happen to be tuning in, I did this both on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. It's my first time on Instagram. I might do them different in the future, but let me know if you're getting to tune in. But save your seat here. It's a free class. I have 2 workshop availabilities. If either of those times do not work for you, I'll make it a little smaller so you guys can see it too. If either of those times don't work for you, make sure to still register for our last class and I'll send you the replay. Now, it is a limited time replay, so it's not going to be available forever. So when I send out the replay, if that's what you want to do, make sure to watch it. The other thing to know is that I'm going to do a live Q&A on the class at the end. So join us live. There's some extra little cool gifts that you get for attending. And I'll see you there. Let me know if you have any other questions. Leave them down below and I'll get back to answering them. I wish you were local so you could help, so I could use your help. I help people all over the US fix their mistakes, technically all over the world, but I have ways that I support you guys in learning no matter where you're at. I actually often get feedback from people. They're like, I tried to get somebody local, it did not work. So I actually have ways to help you where you don't have to be, just like right now, I can talk to you and you don't have to be in person. Where is the link for the class? If you leave, let me put this in here. If you happen to be on Instagram, since you're leaving this, if you just leave in the comments below, leave clean25, which I typed in, it will send you the link and you can register all straight through inside Instagram or Facebook. So clean25, CLEAN 25. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's good to see all of you and I look forward to seeing you on the class. You can clean up your QuickBooks. And first though, let's figure out where your mistakes are at because they're sneaky sometimes. And if you haven't been taught which reports to be pulling, what to be looking for, you may not know that you have them. So come join me and I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you're excited to learn. See you soon.